The system I'm about to show you guys in this video is what allowed me to cash collect 10.5k on my 19th birthday last week, and it consistently gets me an 8 to 12x ROI on cold traffic. All right, boom, you can see 5-figure birthday right there, all thanks to this specific outreach system I'm about to show you boys. All right, so the truth is that people are tired of getting cold emails and Instagram DMs and LinkedIn DMs and that stuff. However, this outreach system right here, it leverages cold SMS. So you literally text people on their phones, right? And the open rates here are like 90%, insane response rate as well. And you instantly stand out from your competition, right? And you can scale way, way faster than them simply because you're able to text like 10 to 50k people every single day, right, of the week with this automation. And it's automated, right? So you don't lift a single finger here. The entire thing runs on autopilot. Like, you don't do shit, right? And it also gives you instant feedback. So you know if in minutes if like the scripts you're running are converting or not. And it just overall allows you to sign your first few clients, hit 20k months really fucking fast, and then you pivot into paid ads and just scale to like 50k, 100k a month. So it will also consistently get you an 8 to 12x ROI because cold outreach is linear, right? So you know when you spend X amount, you're going to get X amount of meetings, and X amount of meetings is going to result in X amount of shows and good fits and close clients essentially. All right, so we're going to focus on cold SMS in this video, and then we'll take ads in another video. All right, so how this whole SMS thing actually works step by step is that first you need some leads, right? You need a fuck ton of leads. I'm gonna show you like step by step after this right here, but just to give you like a quick overview here. So first you need like the lead source, right? Get a fuck ton of leads, and then you clean the lead list if you want to. Upload that lead list to GHL, run up the automation, and yeah, then you basically start sending the SMSs and have some conversations. The setter obviously has the conversations for you. You only need like 1 or 2 setters depending on the volume running. But then you're left with booked calls and clients essentially, right? So let me show you exactly how you can set up this entire system and start booking appointments within the next day or two, right? Literally, so many people are gatekeeping this in the entire agency space right now. So let me just show you guys, because why not? All right. So I personally use Outscraper to scrape all my leads here. It's probably the cheapest and the best out there in the game. You can also find some lead scraping people on Fiverr or online jobs and stuff as well, but I just personally use this because it's really good. So basically make an account here, log in, create an account. Once you've created the account, you want to go to Google Maps Scraper. You basically click on the services and then you find the Google Maps Scraper. That's one that we want. And here you basically put in, depending on the niche you're in, you want to basically search for the niche, right? So let's say you're in construction, then you basically just take everything that relates to like construction and construction companies and all that stuff. And after that, after you basically put in like a fuck ton of search things right there, then you want to do the states that you want to target firstly. So I'd recommend just always start with Florida, and then you can run up Texas, for example. Only do like 2 or 3 here at once because it's going to give you a fuck ton of like leads. It's going to scrape the entire Google Maps search database in those specific states and only give you the leads in those states, okay? All these packs here, lead gen packs, you don't need any of that shit. And then on the other parameters here, what I'd recommend that you do here, because you only need a few things here. You need the state that these leads are in, the phone number, of course, and their website, and then you can do their name, all right? And then you hit get data, and then it's basically going to start scraping, okay? It's going to give you like a spreadsheet, which I'll show you. Yeah, here you basically see it, estimated around like 81k leads, which is fine. If you run 10k SMS a day, that's going to last you like 8 days. So hit confirm and it's going to start running. And once that is done, you basically want to go to tasks there and just download that. And yeah, download the lead list. Once you've downloaded the lead list, you obviously want to clean this lead list. So you want to remove all the landlines from this lead list essentially. I personally don't really do this, but you can if you want to, like buy I think there's like a pack or something of like 200k leads. Yeah. You can do that if you want to. It is going to save you quite a lot of money, honestly, because if you don't do it, you're basically going to be paying to send SMSs to numbers that's not working, right? So this is just going to allow you to only send SMSs to people that's actually got the working number, right? It's not landline numbers. So once you've done that, just download that file. And then let me show you also how to separate the states as well from the lead list here, because once you download it, it's basically going to look like this, right? You're going to have one page with literally all this types of states and stuff. Can be like 82k leads. So in this case, I've already done this, but let me just show you how you do it yourself. So you basically click on this and then you click create filter. Now it says remove filter, but you click create filter there. Then it's going to create a filter on the state right there. And what you then do is that you clear, and then depending on which states that you actually scraped here, let's say it was Ohio, like I did, boom, right there. It's going to give you those, 27k. Then you copy those, boom, and put it into this. So now, once you download this file, like if you have this sheet here open and you download it, then it's only going to give you the leads from Ohio, okay? Because obviously we're just going to run one automation per state, right? We're going to have one local number for each state and one automation for each state, right? So obviously we want to separate the leads, okay? So then you basically just download Ohio, for example. I'll just do that right now. Download a CSV, right? Now we have about 28k leads. Obviously, you repeat this with the other states you created as well. So for example, North Carolina and Indiana in this case. And then you go into your GHL. Mine is white labeled, as you both can see, but that doesn't really matter. Everything is the same. So the first thing you boys want to do in the GHL account, in your sub account, is that you want to go into settings here, and then you want to go to phone numbers right here. And there is a few important things that we have to sort here before we start sending these SMSs, okay? So it's probably going to tell you that you're not A2P compliant, but I'll get back to that in a minute from now. So first thing you want to go is to additional settings here. And then you want to turn off this right here, enable missed call text back, turn that off. And then under SMS compliance as well, you basically want to turn off this right here, right? Turn this off, the opt-out message, because this is just going to kill your response rate. So, do that. And then where it says messaging limit here as well, will probably not look like this with you. It'll probably say like, first you have to send 100 for one day, and then 250, and then 500, and then 1,000 or something. Like there's a ramp up period, but that's completely bullshit. You can shortcut that entire thing so easily. And the way you do that and basically, get bumped up to 10k SMSs a day instantly is by click on this need help thing, join a Zoom call, support call with all these Indian GHL guys, and just tell them this very specific sentence, all right? Tell them that I want to increase my SMS sending limit on one of my GHL sub accounts, and then you say the name of the sub account as well. And then you want to tell them with confidence and conviction that you've done this like 20 or 30 times before for other clients, so it's never really been an issue. Can you just submit a ticket for me to increase it to 10k a day? And then they're basically just gonna increase the limit, right? They're gonna raise the ticket, and within a day or two from now, your SMS limit will be at 10k. Yeah, it's actually a crazy shortcut you guys can do just to save you guys a fuck ton of time. So do that, and then you're gonna be at 10k SMSs instantly right there. Now, after you've basically done that, we obviously want to get a local number here for these leads, all right? So as you know, we downloaded these Ohio leads that we got. but we do want to find out which local number area code is the most common in that lead list. So what I like to do then is basically just upload this lead list into ChatGPT and basically tell it to file and give me the most boom, tell it that right there. And then it's basically going to analyze the entire file and give you the most common area code. Okay, this is going to significantly boost the SMS open rate and response rate. Yeah, you can see here 330. So what you do then is you go into GHL, add phone number, and then you hit filter, match to first part of number, 330, apply. And then you basically just choose any of these numbers, honestly. And yeah, let's just do one that looks a bit good, you could say. And then you just proceed to buy. Once you've bought it, let me just do it for you guys right now as well. It's gonna go like this, hit exit, and then you obviously want to find it. So I have a fuck ton of numbers here, but it's this one right there. I'm just gonna copy that. And then you want to edit configuration, and then you want to call it like Ohio, for example. Take off that call recording. You want that on so you can listen to the calls your setter has done with them, if you know the setter has done any calls with them. And now you basically have the number, right? So the next step that we want to take here is that we want to basically set up the automation. Okay, so let me show you the entire automation and how it works. So you can basically set it up yourself. It's super simple. I have a folder called Call SMS Setter 1. I have 2 setters right now. And you can see here I have a fuck ton of automations, around 6 automations right here. So this specific, entire thing here for the first setter I have is sending about 12K SMS a day now. So about 2,000 SMSs every single day on each automation, okay? And per number, right? You don't want to use the same number on multiple automations. Always get a different one. So just to show you exactly how this thing looks as well. But before I do that, the most important thing you have to do is just copy all these settings right here. Make sure it's account time zone here as well. And you basically change the time zone here in your business profile. Like if you go into settings on GHL and then business profile, then you just change it to like Eastern time or something. And then specific time, we want to reach out to them between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. here every single day of the week, right? It's literally just a limiting belief that you can't do cold SMS on Saturdays and Sundays. Like if you want to, that's fine, but I'm still booking like 5 or 10 appointments a day on weekends with this automation. And then you basically want to change the from number here. Obviously paste that in right there. And then you just choose that one and hit save. And now let me show you the exact automation right here. So the trigger is essentially just a lead, like a content tag, I mean. And the tag, you want to name it the same as the name of the automation. Okay, so cold SMS setter 1 leads 1. And after this, once you duplicate this automation, you obviously want to create another tag that's called setter 1 leads 2, setter 1 leads 2. And that's essentially the tag. And then you want to assign your user, your setter basically. I've got Julia assigned right there. And then you want to run up 2 drip modes back to back. Okay, so the first drip mode is basically 2,000 every 1 day. Okay, so it's going to allow 2,000 people to enter this drip mode every single day. Okay, and this is really important that you don't really do more than 2,000, because then your number is just going to get flagged as spam, and then it's going to be burnt and shit results and so on. So do drip mode 2,000 every single day, and then on the next one you do 4 every minute. Do that, and then you basically want to split 50-50, right? You want to do a split test between the two different scripts that you're running. One is social proof and one is the results. First, I'm not going to show you my scripts because they're a bit too cracked, honestly. But how you want to structure these are pretty simple. So the outcome-based one can be, for example, hi, it's Emily from whatever company you're from. We work with X niche in X city if you want to do that, or in state. This is optional. But we work with X to get them 5 to 10 high ticket clients, or 5 remodeling jobs in 60 days on a pay on result basis. Think you can handle more clients. Really, really good script right here. Mostly because of the pay on results based. If you actually run a pay per lead agency, then you can kind of say that as well. But if you don't, then you should be a bit careful with qualifying these leads a bit further by letting them know that you actually have upfront costs, okay? And then the social proof can, for example, be a testimonial, right? So, hey, it's Julia from X. We scaled a construction company to 200K a month profit within 60 days of partnering with us. Want to see if it's a fit, all right? The reason why these SMSs are so short is purely because of this segment thing, okay? So with SMS, you want them to be one segment, okay? Because if they're multiple segments, then it's basically gonna cost you, like this, for example. This one is cooked, all right? This one is 3 segments. That means if I start sending using this exact script right here now, then I'll basically pay for 3 SMSs when I'm actually just sending one, okay? So always go to this website right here and always just check this. And then it's gonna tell you which places it tells you that it's multiple segments. And then you basically just fix that. So if I just fix this right now, yeah, there you go. Now it's sorted, right? Now it's just one segment. So copy this script and put it into the SMS. And then you obviously want to do the same with the other thing. And then you basically can import, like, however many leads you had. We had 28K in Ohio, I believe. So what you do then is that you go to contacts and hit import contacts. Boom. Next. And then you basically just want to upload the Ohio one, which I showed you a bit earlier, the one with like 28K leads, I believe. Hit next, and then you just map the fields here as well. Website, phone, name, state, that's all that we need. Hit next, and then you want to hit add tags to import the contacts. And this is the really important thing, okay? So if you attach the phone number, the Ohio phone number, to the Setter One Leads Phone automation, which I was just in, then you want to add that tag as well, that automation uses, which is basically this one. And boom, consent, and then start bulk import, okay? Then it's going to start sending within the time periods, right? Within 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time, okay? And obviously when you want to scale this system right here, you basically just go in here and hit duplicate workflow, and then you just name it number 2. I'm just gonna do this just to show you, test. And then if the leads you have now is from a different state, that's fine. You just repeat the process which I showed you earlier by getting uploading the lead list into ChatGPT, asking it which local number is the most common in that lead list. And then you go into settings, get a new local phone number from that area code. And once that's done, then you can go into this automation, hit settings, and attach that phone number that you just bought. And then the most important thing here is that you change the tag here to be on the leads too, just like that. Scripts and everything else can stay the exact same. Hit publish, save, and then you just go to contacts, upload the lead list, and choose that tag essentially. Okay, so that's essentially like how you run up this system right here. And yeah, it's like fully automated. Just place a setter in here and have them look at the conversations. So just to show you an example of how it will look like is that you'll go to conversations here on the left, and then you'll basically see on unread here. Currently we have 550 unread messages right here of people basically responding. Obviously, if they reply like stop or not interested in stuff, you don't really reply. But for those who respond positively, such as this guy right here who's just said yes, then the setter will, there's a few ways you can go about it. Either you can have the setter call them up and have a nice little conversation with them over the phone, build some report, and then, you know, tell them, you know, let's set up a quick call with the owner of the business, Theo, and we can discuss it further, for example. Or you can run it up in a way where you basically just text them back and forth over SMS, which is what my setter is doing. In this case, for example, she'd probably just respond like with a, you know, give him a bit more info, right? A bit longer text with some more info on how it works. Like the first thing we do is this, and then we do that, and then boom, it allows you to get this outcome, blah, 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 blah. And then the call to action of the SMS can, for example, be, would it be down to hop on a quick, you know, discovery call with their founder, maybe this week, and then you send them the calendar link, and then they obviously just book in. And yeah, that's essentially like how you do the SMS convo flow right there. Now you can also train up the GHL conversational AI bots and have, you know, it trained to respond to these messages automatically for you, so you don't really need a setter. It's basically going to be your setter for you. There are some pros and some cons with that, of course. Like the pros, like one of the biggest pros is that it's going to respond to these leads within like 10 seconds, for example, of them replying yes. So it's going to be like super hot leads, and you're able to book them in instantly, essentially. So the speed to lead is going to be like really, really good here with that bot. Now there are a few cons with it as well, like the cost here as well are going to increase. But for example, with me sending about 12K SMS a day now, I'm only spending like on average around like $100 a day for that. So it's not like a ton, because it gets me on average like 5 to 10 appointments every single day, and basically just fills up my entire calendar. Now, obviously you want to be tracking this entire system here as well, so you can see how, you know, in terms of tracking your costs and the ROI and all that stuff. So right here, I've basically built this entire spreadsheet that I update every Saturday or Sunday. And yeah, you can see like the total expenses right here. So the number usage, the GHL usage, the commissions to the setter as well. I pay my setters $200 a month in base pay, and then I give them $200 per close, which is, you know, fairly decent because the offer is like 6K, 5 or 6K. And then you basically just track the stuff right here on the dates, and then you also track how many SMSs have been sent. And the way you find that is by going into settings here, back into phone numbers. So you want to look at the sent right here. Obviously choose the date, right, to match it right here. Let's say that you sent 12,000 something SMS that day. You book 10 meetings, and let's say that about 8 of them showed up. And how many of them were like a good, like a bad fit? You could do 2. Let's say you have a 50% closing rate. That's like 3 closed calls right there. Cash collected. This is in Norwegian kroners, by the way. But that could be like 15K, so 150,000 Norwegian kroners. And then you can basically see the metrics right here, right? Just so you'll see the booking rate, the show up rate, bad fit rate, good fit rate, your closing rate, expenses as well. You can put that right here. And then you can see the total revenue in cash. Then you also see the price per call closed, good fits, showed up, SMS, all that stuff. And then you also have total profit and cost here as well. So cash collected, yeah, profit margins, ROI, and here it's in terms of revenue, which you basically put right here. Boom. And yeah, that's essentially like the entire spreadsheet that I use. It allows me to just get a full overview of the entire system. If, you know, the margins that we're running on, like the profit margins, how much we've spent this month, and all that stuff. So every Saturday, I just sit down and update this entire tracking sheet. So I look at my accounting program and see how much we've spent every day on the number usage. So I just put, in $100 every single day here, for example. And then the commissions for the days I had some closes, and yeah, basically just tracks everything here. So that's obviously really, really, really key. The only reason most of you boys can't run this system at all is because that you can't get your GHL sub account A2P verified, okay? And that's because you need secret info from a registered US business. And that's the part that literally nobody talks about, all right? People literally charge thousands of bucks to just implement this system into your business, all right? Like, it's crazy. And I've personally been gatekeeping that info and this entire system for the past like 8 months. But today I do feel like being a bit kind with you boys. So if you boys DM me A2P on Instagram, I'll send you this document, okay, that includes the entire, like all the A2P verification info that you need, a copy of my entire tracking sheet that I just showed you, right? And all the softwares I've mentioned in this video as well, like literally the entire in-depth guide on setting this thing up. Also an in-depth Loom video showing you how to submit this A2P stuff correctly and get it verified in literally like a day or two, okay? And it includes literally everything that you guys need, as I mentioned. And people are charging literally thousands of bucks for this stuff. I paid a guy like $3K to help me set this entire thing up. So I'm literally going to give it away for completely free. And it actually works, boys, okay? Just like this video and DM me A2P on IG, and I'll send over that document over. And yeah, boys, that's pretty much it for this video. In the next video, I just want to break down in depth how I turn these cold leads here into warm inbound leads that's pre-sold and ready to pay in full, okay? Exactly how I structure it. So I turn these leads from the cold SMS, transition them into being warm, inbound, pre-sold, ready to buy leads, okay? And the structure and the framework I use for that consistently gets me like an 80% show up rate on all these booked appointments, a 70% good fit rate, and a 60% closing rate, okay? So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that video. It's going to come up about like next week or so. And yeah, boys, DM me A2P on IG, and yeah, let's start scaling, boys. So see you boys soon.